Alrighty. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream. Today we are going to be unboxing the Sunlu T3, or otherwise known as the T3 Terminator or Terminator 3, however you want to say it. But essentially, we're going to be unboxing this today, and hopefully you guys will see how it is. So, all right. Without further ado, let's go ahead and roll our intro. I think I like that intro a little bit better. Or should we stick with this one? I don't know. They're both pretty good. I think I might like the second one a little bit better. But otherwise, let's wait for a little bit. We'll have some people come in here. Right now, we're sitting at about 5 people, 7 people now. So let me put this down so we're not feedbacking on anything, because I am. So we are live on multiple social media accounts. We are live on the TikTok. We are live on Twitch. We are live on Twitter. We are live on Facebook on multiple accounts. Speaking of which, I should probably pull that up and make sure that everything is good. Let's see. Let's put this back around. This is really, really Deadly Sketch. What's up, man? How's it going? My dashboard. All right, let me pull up my Facebook page here because I'm sure people are on my normal Facebook page as well. So let's just make sure that this is all good. Okay. All right, we have Sunlu here as well. Oops, that's not what I wanted. I'm Matt. Hello. Go ahead and pull up these little bits of accounts here. Just make sure that everything is good. Everything's copacetic. Hello, Sarah. How's it going? Welcome to the stream. Hello. I'm going to give it a little bit to get some people in here. That way we have there's stuff going on. Hello, everybody from TikTok land and beyond. Okay, so over to YouTube. This view is no good. Not much. Just got a CR10 in today. Let me see if I can try and fix the TikTok view. Don't know if I can. I think we're stuck. Let's see if we can do that. Prepared it and looked for recent. Awesome. Hey, Jo, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. We're giving it about 5 more minutes to let some people in here, and that way we can get everything going. So. Let me, let me switch this for you guys. How about that? Is that better for the TikTokers? I think that'll be better for you. So if you guys put yourself in portrait mode, I think that'll be a better view for you. We're buffering. Oh, there we go. Audio is going in and out. Okay, much better over here anyways. Hey, so if you guys are on TikTok and you guys want to join the a better live stream, well then you can head over to our other streams on YouTube, on Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook, on the group, what have you. So we are pretty much streaming everywhere. Right now, we're just letting some time fly to get some more people in here. Right now, we're sitting at about 8 people total. So hoping to have a little bit more in here, but hey, it is what it is. So, that was, but all right. Okay, so I hope everybody's night is doing well. On top of the new printer, we are going to be showcasing something else that's new, that's coming out. Well, hopefully coming out. I will be promoting it a little bit more here and there, and hopefully everything will be good. Hey, Matt got out of the hospital. Thanks for the well wishes. I'm glad to hear that everything is good, man. I'm glad that you're feeling better, or at least that you're out of the hospital. I know that's one big thing for a lot of people, just being in the hospital. So, what's up, Chris? How's it going? I'm looking at getting an Ender 3 Pro for a starter printer. What do you guys think of them? I personally am not a big fan of them, but if you're okay doing some work on printers, then by all means, it's probably your best source. It has a great community behind it, but as I've said, we do have the brand new Sunlu T3 here, and I have a feeling that these new printers are going to absolutely take Creality out of the competition for a lot of things. So I would definitely look into this printer. This is supposed to be an insanely fast printer, and that's basically why we're doing an unboxing for it. So right now, I can suggest this printer because, well, I'm kind of doing a unboxing / semi-review testing, so to speak. So the Sunlu rep contacted me about the Terminator 3. Looking forward to the unboxing. Mine comes in on Sunday. Awesome. Glad to hear. Put this over here so I can see a little bit better. Sorry for the weird camera angles. We're going to change that up in a little bit here so I can get that. Resin God, yes. That is what I have been deemed online. And I know that rubs some people the wrong way, but essentially I deal with a lot of resin specifically. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that we don't still do reviews on FDM printers. As you guys have seen, we do have some other FDM printers out here that we're currently doing some active reviews on. So, I mean, basically, we're not just resin, but for the most part, that's what I'm known for. So, retry. There was a problem with the server. All right. K-Spec, what's up? How's it going? Finally got your first resin printer. All right, glad to hear. I won't be able to stay for the whole show. I'm at work till 11. Oh, well, hey, it is what it is. But I thank you for popping in and saying hi. And you're always welcome to check out the rest of the stream at a later time. Or just come back around and take a look at our actual our actual review of the printer. All right, so we're pretty much getting ready to get going here. So I'm going to set up the if I can speak today, that would be fantastic. I'm going to be showing the Logitech camera here in the upper corner so you guys can see what's going on with this. And we're going to get this thing unboxed and get it set up here in a quick second. So yes, I am using a box on top of a box. So yeah, you know, it is what it is. I'm kind of tight on space right now, so we're trying to make the best of what we got. So always make sure that when you guys are opening things, open away from you. Do not open towards you. That means when you are using a sharp object, you do not want to come towards you because guess what? Your legs are right there. So please, please do not do that. What's up? How's it going, Mr. Castro? How are you? Tim decided we aren't going to Earth anymore. Oh, that's unfortunate. I myself am not going to Earth. I had some plans that I was unaware of. Let me move this over here so you guys can see my ugly mug. I had some plans that I was unaware of was the same weekend. And so basically, I had to cancel Earth because I made those plans well in advance, and so it is what it is. I know a lot of people are disappointed. I'm very sad about it because I want to get to know more and more people, and I'd love to go on the East Coast to meet more people over there, and I think it would just be a fun time. But hey, it is what it is. There's always next year to do that. So, you know, oh well. But either way, let's get this going, and we will see how this printer is. You should come out here soon and do a stream with us. I am absolutely down, and I've been meaning to come out there for a long time. I've been busy with work and everything, and like dealing with the mental preparedness type thing. I don't know how you want to explain it, but whatever. I am planning on doing that at some point. It needs to happen. It's been a long time coming, so so maybe we'll talk more on that. Anyway, let's get this thing unboxed and get it all set up. I'm actually going to move this box. Yeah, we're gonna have to do this old school. Move you out of the way. All right. So we have our typical foam. Okay, so this is more of a kit style. So this is like your typical cheaper style printers. We have our filament spool holder. I'm going to set that off to the side. You have a standard power supply. This does look like a Meanwell style. Whether or not it is, that is a $1 million question, and I don't feel like taking the parts off of it to find out right now, but who knows? Maybe it is. It sure looks like one, but it's probably more or less a slight knockoff of it because that seems to be the way to go. Not the end of the world, but hey. We have a power supply and some zip ties. I'm not going to use that power supply right now, or power cord, I mean. So it looks like just some parts that we got, scraper, typical tools that you get with your printer. Let me move this up a little bit. There we go. Now you guys can see. Oh my God, they actually sent a good amount of filament. What is this, like 200 grams, 250? I think it's more like 200 grams, but still, that's more than most printers. I'm talking to you, Creality. But either way, we're probably not going to use that filament because I have something special for the stream tonight. And I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope I like it. So we'll see. All right. So we have our upright, it looks like, or our gantry. Oh, wow, this is like all one piece. Yes, it is. Okay, so the printer comes out all in one piece there. And that just kind of gets put to the side. And then we have some nice big straps here. Now, one thing I will point out right away, this is a single Z setup. So again, this is more of a budget printer out of anything. We're going to need some actual snips for this, or my trusty scissors. By the way, if anybody knows the company Cutco, yeah, I used to work for them. These are the best scissors in the world. Shameless plug. All right. So essentially, we're going to get this all up here, get that off there. That's pretty much for unboxing. A couple things here and there. But it's essentially a two-piece system that's all set up, ready to rock and roll. Very interesting. Press the button to insert the filament. Okay. Not sure why they covered that. Maybe because the worried about the Z end or the end stop being crushed. I mean, never had that happen, but I guess it could. Better to be safe than sorry, I guess. Okay, so let's go to our little user manual here. See what we got going on here. Understandable, just let us know. Absolutely, I definitely will. I will let you know well in advance. Who knows? Maybe we'll do an anti-Earth party going on. I'll come over there Sunday. All right, so essentially step one is unboxing it. Step two is cutting all the stuff. Remove foam from printer. Okay, we already did that. Step four, rotate the Z-axis for easy installation. Lay the printer on its side, align with the holes of the gantry, and let's get all of our parts up and out of there. Nice roll of filament. Yes, I agree. I agree. Nice to see an actual roll of filament, even though I will say that 99% of the time, those rolls of filament are usually a pile of garbage. Here's another great thing about this printer that I already like is these are labeled. So we have number 1, number 2, number 3, so on and so forth. So basically it goes from 1 to 5. That's nice that they actually label those, and you know what is what, and you're not scrambling to figure out what you need to unbox next. Another thing I want to let you guys know that they do include, I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Sorry, my lighting, but they do include 3, count them, 3 BL touch pins, because as you guys know, BL touch pins, they do tend to wear out very easily because they turn them to plastic ones, and well, basically they tend to just go bad a lot. So it's nice that they include that for the users, so you guys can replace that, as well as a nozzle that's in there and some extra pieces as well. So it's very, very nice that they did that. I like when they include some extra stuff. Welcome to join in this live stream to watch unboxing Sunlu T3. Yes, absolutely. Check this chat. Thank you, Farah. That is very, very kind of you. Okay. I need to get like another window. There's not enough windows. Great job, man. Thank you. Thank you. I'm very professional. All right. So basically, we just need to go through here. It does say like what the accessories are, everything that's included right above the basically the how-to. And yeah, we basically go through and set it all up. So let's get this all set and ready to rock and roll. Oh, this is awesome. All right. So too many things going on at once. You know, like 5 people messaged me while I'm on live stream. That's nothing out of the normal though. All right, so it says lay the printer on the side, align with the holes of the gantry, and use the screws in the accessory bag number 3. So essentially we start at number 3. Number 1 and number 2, I guess we don't start with, which is really strange, but hey, whatever. As long as they tell you which one you got to start with, right? I'm not losing any tracking or anything. There's nothing else. Okay. One strange thing I will say about this is that it's in English and I believe it's in German. The instructions, which never in my life would I think I'd see English and German. I wonder how this stacks up against the Ender 3. Well, as far as I know, it's already got a lot of stuff that the Ender 3 does not. It is the same build style, but it does have a better user interface. It has VL Touch on it. It is still a single Z like the Ender 3. It's still got the flappy mat like in Ender 3, but I'd say it's more closer to like an Ender 3 S1 than anything. You know, obviously the S1 is direct drive. This is still Bowden setup, but I personally don't think there's really a major difference between the two. So that's just my user experience. I know a lot of people who are, you know, all about the direct drive setup. And personally, anything that you can print with direct drive, I can print with a Bowden tube. So yeah. Anyway, let's get this set up here. So this should be fairly quick. We are going to raise that z-axis as they set to. Now we do have the bigger brother. Just around the corner there is the Sunlu S9, which is basically just a larger version of this. So I'm hoping that this poses to be just as good as the S9 has been so far. Now, not saying that we haven't had our share of problems with the S9, but it's nothing that we couldn't take a look at and see what we can do. Oops, too far. Sorry, I'm going to be away from chat here for a quick second while I try and build this beast. So essentially 4 screws, 2 for each post. Threading is very, very nice, very easy and smooth. No major hiccups with that, so that's very, very nice. Usually there's some sort of resistance on some of these printers just because of how they're cut and how they're cheaply made, but so far this is pretty good. Actually pleasantly surprised. I will say that I like the design of this in total with the dark design. I'm more of a black colored type guy when it comes to 3D printers and the not so like fancy and crazy colors. I'm not that type of person, but this is all black on black, like everything is black. Now here's one thing. I'm going to turn this thing around and you guys might be able to see it. This thing has a fan for the extruder motor because this thing is meant to print at insane speeds. It needs to have some sort of extra cooling on that extruder motor to push that plastic out. Now that is something I have not seen on any printer in my life so far, at least not out of factory. But that's just very strange. And I will say that that's an ingenious design. I think it's a little overkill, but hey, if it makes it have the ability to print at the insane speeds that it's supposed to, this is supposed to have the ability to print at 250 millimeters a second. And if it can actually accomplish that, I'd be amazed. So we'll have to see. Now Sunlu did send me a link to their specific slicer. So I'm not sure if the slicer is included on the SD card. But even if it is, they sent me their specific slicer to get it all set up. And one thing that they did say when they sent it over, and I don't know if I misread it really quick because I was doing 10 other things to try and get this all started, was they mentioned Android, and I was like, what? So I wonder if this has an Android-based run, and if it does that mean that it runs a style of Clipper? So that'll be very interesting to see. I don't know if it does run Clipper. I didn't see anything mentioning that it was Clipper. So let's see. I think this has got your typical MK8 style hot end. So essentially the same one that you would find on a Creality Ender 3 or most Creality machines. It does have a silicone sock and then, of course, the BL Touch. It does have a Bowden tube. It looks kind of small to me, but I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe because I'm used to the frosted or white Bowden tube. This is more of a clear Bowden tube, so this is very interesting to see. Usually you see either blue or white on pretty much any printer that's out there. So definitely has some interesting things that most printers don't have right out of the box. So, all right. So now we're on step 6. We got that all completed. Let's see what step 7 is. Step 7 is connecting the power supply and then obviously putting the bolts into that, I would guess. Place the power supply on the left side of the printer. Use the screws in accessory bag number 2. So let's stop and take a look at chat here. Let's see. I wonder, so far much easier to build than my Ender 3 Pro. Absolutely. Most of the printers nowadays are much, much easier to build right out of the box than any of the Creality machines. I mean, obviously, if you get the newer Creality machines, that's different. But, you know, I usually talk about the Creality machines because they're basically the competition to beat, essentially. And it's more or less just because they have the community backing behind them. But in my opinion, pretty much any printer is a slightly better purchase than any Creality machine. Like, that's just my 2 cents on it. But if you're looking for a great community and the ability to tinker right out of the box, I mean, really, an Ender 3 really can't be beat for it. But again, this printer, pretty much a said and done printer. You really don't need to do many upgrades. It's got a dual geared extruder on it, a metal dual geared extruder. It's got a filament runout sensor, BL Touch. I mean, what else can you ask for? I mean, maybe a little bit better of a hot end, but essentially, if you're looking for something that's more budget friendly, this is a great printer to start with. Now, does it print like a good starter printer? That's the question that's going to still remain, but we'll have to see. So I'll have to see if we can find a contact and see if we can check it out too at the tech site I work at. That would be awesome. Yes, it is easy to assemble. Yes. All right. So now that we're caught up with chat and everything, let's go back to putting up our power supply. So that's pretty much the gist of it. So not too many screws. Like normally nowadays, printers have about 6 screws that they need to be taken care of, and this one has pretty much 6 screws. I'm sure there's 1 or 2 more screws for the filament bracket, but essentially it should be okay. Now the $1 million question. Okay, so this does screw in just like your more budget printers. To be honest, I'm kind of so about this style of setup, but it's nothing I haven't seen before. The only reason why I say I'm like kind of iffy about these style setups is I have a worry. I guess I really shouldn't worry about this because it's not like the Ender where it's suspended. This one actually sits on the gantry system, so and the bottom. So it's more of a it acts more of a square to square up your printer than it does anything else. So I guess it's slightly better design. Still not my go-to. I kind of actually like the integrated power supplies where everything's like just shoved inside here. And I'm sure somebody has made something or has something that they can make to do that. So either way, that's just a personal preference, I guess. Gantry seems pretty solid, even though it is a single Z. And that would explain why there's a single Z, because it's a bracket or it's a upright style power supply that's mounted to it. That doesn't mean that we can't do some modifications to it at some point in time. Okay, so step 8. So essentially this is a 12-step program. That's good. That's too good. I had to. So if you're looking for your 12-step program for 3D printing, Sunlu's got you. It literally is a 12-step program. I'm not even joking. That's hysterical. It's great. All right. So it says connect the printer power supply, assemble the filament holder with the accessories from bag 1. So let's go ahead and plug in our XT60, right? Connectors. These actually look like quality connectors too, not like the cheap ones that I normally see. That remains to be seen how they produce. So, all right. So let's go ahead and open up number 1. What's up, Matt? How's it going? Welcome to the stream. All right. So now we're going to take our parts from this, and we're going to basically assemble everything. So this is a new style of filament holder, which I don't know, it just seems kind of weird, but hey, maybe that's just me. It's weird how it clicks in. It's kind of oddball. What is the build size of this? Hold on, I do have that. So the build size on this printer specifically is 220 by 250. So it is slightly smaller than an Ender 3. It's more Prusa size than it is anything. But that's kind of a debatable thing, because I know a lot of people that say otherwise about like the Ender 3s. So let's see, where does it want me to mount this? So one thing I will say that I kind of like about these is that they are designed to specifically fit on a 2020 extrusion rail, like perfectly. And basically like one specific side, it just kind of snaps in there and everything is milled to fit perfectly. I really kind of dig that. It's a weird spool holder, but it works. And maybe it's just because I'm used to the older styles. Who knows? So this has 3 screws that go into it, and they do go directly into the extrusion rail. Now, one thing I want to know is with the Sunlu S9, this front one did not go in all the way. They fixed it. So they properly milled that one. On the Sunlu S9, they didn't properly mill it all the way through, so the screw is sticking out just a little bit. It's not the end of the world because you still have the two top screws that hold it, but it's kind of cumbersome and a little odd. So printing size is 220, 220, 250. That is correct, yes. All right, so that's pretty much it, guys. We've been on the live stream for about 20 minutes. So, and that's with me talking. I mean, essentially, you can get this printer set up in probably less than 15 minutes, if that. And that's just taking your sweet time and not even probably knowing what you're doing. That's pretty cool. That's a nice little setup. So I'm gonna put this all back together really quick. We're not losing anything. Simply keep everything where we need it to be. And we're going to put it right on top here. All right. Now, we're going to plug in the power supply that we have already set up here. One thing we will have to check is to make sure that we have the proper voltage set on here. I think that's right. Kind of hard to see. So there is a cover here to basically say, hey, take a look at me because I am muy importante. All right. So that does need to be changed. So let's change that voltage from 230 to 115. And now we're ready to rock and roll. Now, as far as we're going, tight squeeze here. Like I said, I'm running out of room. All right, let's see here. This is my first Sunlu printer. Have you reviewed other Sunlu printers? Technically, I haven't finished a review on a Sunlu printer. I do have the Sunlu S9 here as well. So we'll have to take a look at that and, just kind of keep printing with it. But so far, it's been okay, to be in all honesty. We have some things that we need to look at, but I don't think it's anything that is majorly an issue. So now, with that being said, everything is set up here. So it was perfect timing here. So I've been working with another company outside of everything completely, and it's something a little bit out of my scope, but there's this new trend with dual color filaments. And as some of you guys may or may not know, I've been experimenting with the company to basically make an Akuma Mods blend. Now, what that means is we are going to try and utilize and make a black and red color shifting filament. Now, with that being said, we've had 2 filaments sent to me that kind of tested okay. The first one came out more black and like a purple, more like a magenta, I guess you would call it. And then the second one was more of a copper and a black. However, there is a new blend that they just sent me today, and it couldn't have came at a better time. So we are going to try out on the brand new Sunlu T3. The Terminator is going to test out the brand new Akuma Mods blend, and I'm really hoping that this is going to be what I need it to be. And if so, we are going to actually put this into production. So hopefully all goes well. Anyway, enough of my chit-chatting here. Let's load this up with some filaments and get this thing printing, because, I mean, that's what you guys came to see, not me. You guys came to see the printer print, right? Right. All right. Always make sure that you cut your stuff off. Not that stuff, but that stuff. All right. So, with that being said, let's turn on the printer. And let's get this loaded in here. So there is a cover on this. Press the button to insert the filament. Okay. So there's a button on the side here, and that essentially opens up the filament runout sensor so you can glide your filament through. There's always a little dance that you got to do with it. It's never perfect. I haven't found one yet that's perfect. Oh yeah, I'm killing it. Okay, let's roll this back up. Now I unrolled everything. Now I'm going to create a big old knot, I'm sure. But we can fix that. Okay. Okay, now we're all wound back up and ready to rock and roll. Okay, so there was an SD card. Where is that? Which slicer are you using? So right now we're just going to do the test print that's on the micro SD card. And oh my God, they provided a SanDisk card? That's like unheard of. I don't know any filament printer company that actually provides a SanDisk branded card ever. So let's see, with the exception of stuff like Prusa and Ultimaker, I mean, you can't put those in the same level as these. This is a completely different. This is meant for budget. It's not meant for people who have money to just throw into nothing. So. Slicer, we will be using a version of Cura that they send me, but we'll probably use that after this live stream. Essentially, this is a unboxing and setup, and essentially we're going to get this running. So let's. I'm always a little weary about these micro SD cards and getting them all set up. So let's see what's on the SD card. Do we even have anything on that? The SD card is the $1 million question. So we might have to actually go into the printer, and maybe they actually will force us to use the slicer. Let's see. So let's load this on. Put this in here. As usual, I think my computer's going to like that. My computer is very finicky with these SD card readers, so we'll have to use my trusty one that actually works with all SD cards. There we go. All right. So we do have a test. There's an STL on here. Okay. So let's check our chats here. It's manufactured. Yes, it's manufactured in China. Okay, so they did send me Slicer software, so we're going to load that up. Do you guys want to see what's going on here? How we do everything? Let me I wish most FDM printers would switch to USB instead of SD cards. I agree, but that's more or less because, well, I use resin printers, so for me, USB drives are kind of common. I have them all over the place, and as I said to everybody, no matter what's supplied with the printer, always replace it. So. Okay, so let's see here. I think they said that they sent it to my email, but let me double check. I think it was actually on Facebook that they sent it to me. Yeah, I didn't think so. Okay, let's go back to the Book of Faces. Okay. All right, so we got to go and download the software here. Cura for Windows. Let's go ahead and download. And yes, they do have a Mac version. Oh, I need to request access. You guys got to change the access for that. So Sunlu is on the live stream as well. At least one of the reps is. Maybe not as Sunlu, but yeah. My Cura doesn't have the settings that yours has. I may need to switch to Prusa for other sizes. Okay. That's very strange because that's usually what it is. I have Cura 4.11 currently installed on my computer. So that's what I use. So, Farah, if you're there, let's see. It's called Mac configuration. Maybe that's why. They did say that, and I'm terrible at reading things and keeping within the lines. And no, I do not have my Mexican Coke right now. I know, blasphemy, right? It's fine. Not the end of the world. Okay. Teddy, what's up? I did. I just downloaded it right now. So, Teddy, that's funny that you're in here because I loaded up the brand new filaments. I just got mine today. So the Akuma Mods blend is here, red and black. Yeah, so I downloaded that one, but it's not the one that I used. So let's see here. Oops. Oh, okay, so they're going to send it to me right now. So we're just going to hang tight for a quick second here because the file is too big. All right. Yeah, so it was perfect timing because I was like, oh man, I wish it would come today. I was talking to him earlier in the day, and I was like, it would be perfect for it to come tonight because I can print with it and see how I like it. And I come home for lunch, and in my mailbox is this little tiny box, and I'm like, Oh my God, please tell me this is it. And sure enough, it's here. So far, the two iterations that I've used that we started with have been pretty good, um, but still lackluster on the final results of what I was looking for. But if this is anything like what they send me pictures of, we're going to be 100% go on that. I'm down. So all right. So now we're just waiting for them to okay everything on the email. Okay, so all right. Well, since we're waiting on them to shoot this over to my email, let's go through some stats of this printer. Okay, so one of the major things, like I said, and why there's actually a fan on the extruder motor here is because this has the supposed ability. I say supposed because lots of people can tell me till I'm blue in the face that my printer can do this. Well, we're going to test that out. We're going to push it to its limits and see how it can do. But it's supposed to be able to print up to 250 millimeters a second, which is an insane speed. My Viper is probably my fastest machine here, and it's on stock settings at 80 millimeters a second, and it's pretty quick. Like I'm used to using my Ender profiles when I had my Ender 3, and I had that slowed down to like 50 or 60 millimeters, and it's slow, like grandpa slow. But I mean, the results were just, well, they were amazing. So that's my only concern is, okay, that's great that it can print 250 millimeters a second, but can it actually print that? Meaning, does it provide a good quality product? So that's what we're going to be trying to test out specifically is, okay, if it doesn't, what do we need to tune to get that going? Because I've been getting more into software tuning, more or less with resin printing, but there's not much of a difference between machine settings on an FDM that I used to utilize. So it's been a while since I've tweaked some settings. But we're going to go ahead and try and do that and get this set up and maybe have an actual profile, probably a Cura profile, because they'll probably end up using that to get this printing. But yeah, so that's one of the things it's boasting about. The normal speeds is supposed to be 50 millimeters a second, so it does have a wide range of printing speeds, kind of like your bamboo labs that everybody's kind of talking about, where it's got excuse me, the standard, the speed, then the ludicrous settings. So that's essentially what it is. This does have a 32-bit board inside of it, so that's very, very nice to have for features, especially if people are going to be doing custom firmware for this. That means that they have no limitations, essentially, because they have those 32 bits to play with, unlike the 8-bit boards. And with it having a standard screen, not a fancy touch screen, I know some people are off put about that, but in my opinion, these are much easier. They break a lot less. It's better to have on an FDM. Whereas touchscreen, I'm still kind of iffy about them on resin printers, but they're meant to do one specific thing, and they do it very, very well. So whereas touchscreens here, you play with a lot of settings and things like that. So it's a lot of back and forth where, resin printing is like you touch it to hit the print, hit print, and then that's it. And that's pretty much all you have to do with it. So I prefer the old 8-bit style screens over anything. But that just might be me and, me working for TH3D Studios and Tim kind of burning that into my head that these are better. But I just usability, the encoder system is a lot better. This does supposedly have a clog detection system, much like the Sunlu S9 did. So we'll have to see about that. I did get some reports that it does have that clog detection and it does work. But from what it sounds like, it's a one-time usage type thing. So you have multiple clogs, that might not be the case. I don't know from personal experience. Again, this is just kind of word of mouth. 16-point level auto leveling system, so that's very, very nice. We'll have to see how that goes. We do have the belt tensioning systems on both the X and Y axis. So I really, really like those on printers. It's just a nice little addition to have. And really, no printer nowadays should not come with it. I mean, it's a very simple upgrade, but I mean, that's kind of the same argument of why don't printers come with metal extruders right out of the box too. So yeah. Anyway, thank you, Teddy, for sending me that link and getting us rocking and rolling. They did send that to me in an email literally the same exact time. So either way, let's go ahead and download this. Yep, download anyway. Okay, so now we are downloading that. We'll get it installed here in a quick second. I'll show you guys everything that I'm doing on the screen once everything's set up. So, are you going to put a link in your bio? So yes, there's actually already a link in my bio. So not on my link tree. I need to do some more playing around with that and actually add that to my YouTube videos. But essentially, there is a link down below if you're on YouTube or even should be on Facebook. There should be an Amazon affiliate link somewhere below the video, around the video, somewhere attached to this this live stream. There is a Amazon affiliate link directly to that. I want to say that the printer was $279. Let me double check that before I put my foot in my mouth. Yes, so it's $279 on Amazon, and it's essentially $279 on Sunlu's website. So I mean, really, if you need a printer right away, this is probably a better buy than an Ender 3 V2. I think those are priced right around the same. Maybe a V2 is a little bit less, but I mean, really, for what you get with this machine, it's worth the extra cash, in my opinion. So, but again, I'm not going to set that in stone. So if you guys want to wait for my review and just be on the safe side with it, that's perfectly fine. Because I never like to say, like, go and get this printer right now, even though I kind of already did. But all right. I was referring to the Akuma mods. Oh, my apologies. So that is not in motion yet. So essentially, this is going to be the final test roll, or hopefully to be the final test roll. And once I give the okay, we're going to set that up. So essentially, we need to find 50 people to back that, which I'm pretty sure I can easily find 50 people to back that style of filaments, and that way we can get everything rocking and rolling for the Akuma Mods filament. So yeah, so right now it's still in testing phases, but if everything goes well, by the end of this week, we will get the okay to put it into production. And either one of two things is going to happen. I'm going to put it out there so everybody can purchase or pre-purchase a roll of filament, or I'm just going to buy 50 rolls and basically sell them at pretty much face value. I might mark it up $1 for myself. That's pretty much it. So I'll back it. I love black and red. Agreed. A lot of people do. Personally, that's not even my favorite color, but since it's the Akuma Mods lens, you know, we gotta promote it some way somehow. So, all right. ST3 Cali Dragon V1 G code. Is that a pre-sliced file, Teddy? That's perfect, because that's literally what I was going to print. Because somebody suggested doing a Cali Dragon. So if that's set up for this machine, I'm down. I'm here to print it. Let's rock and roll. Yes, pre-sliced for the T3. Awesome. You are fantastic, my friend. Thank you very much for that. But either way, we're going to install this slicer. So here, let's go ahead and set a print. We're going to set the Cali Dragon to print. How about that? And then what we'll do, I'm going to drag everything off of that SD card right now, because that's what I normally do. I always copy everything over to my file folders. Every single printer I've ever had, I have the contents of the USB drive. So if anybody ever needs anything, most likely I have it. So where's my printer folder? Info, folder, and we're going to do some new T3. Okay. Okay, so we're going to let that copy in there. Let's go ahead and go into our downloads. And let's go ahead and set up our slicer here. Oops, I already extracted that. I am a dum-dum. You have dum-dum-dum-dum. And we're going to paste that here. Got some good write speeds on that SD card. I'm impressed. Like I said, usually they don't send that nice of an SD card. What's the pre-purchase cost, you think, for the filaments? I have not a clue. I'm hoping it'll be around $15 to $20, but I have no idea. It's been a long time since I've done anything like this. The last time I did it, it was resin, and I got it for fairly cheap, but it was like I just barely undercut Amazon, and I made like $2 a bottle, if that. So it was really, really hard. So I did that, and everything was gone, and I was like, all right, we're not going to do that. So I'm your friend on TikTok that bought your WeBox Lite. I will definitely back your filaments. That's great to hear. I hope the WeBox is treating you well. Like I said, if you got any issues with it, please reach out. That is a very unique printer, and it is very hard to find any information about it or any hope about it. There's probably literally only 3 people in the world that I know that have had that printer and that have used it, and I'm one of them. So, so yeah, if you need anything, just let me know. So, oh, by the way, did you end up getting the frozen sonic knife? Yes, I've had it for quite some time. It's kind of so-so for me. It doesn't. It's not a usable thing for my workflow. If I was more of a miniature painter, sculptor type thing, okay, that would probably be a great investment for me. But I don't really do too many things like that. So, all right. So thank you again, Teddy, for the pre-sliced file. We are going to just go ahead and let her rip. All right. Okay. So now we can get everything going. Hey, friends, for more info about the Sunlu T3, please check this link. Most welcome. Yes, thank you very much, sir. Because like I said, that's literally what somebody suggested. Because I was like, I had the bearded skull, you know, mini me. I had that, and I was going to slice that up because I have printed it. That's basically what's been my test print for these filaments so far. So I felt it to be necessary, but we'll do the Cali Dragon because I've actually have yet to do one of those. And I think that would be a good one to show off the colors. But either way, after the Cali Dragon, we are going to slice the bearded skull and do that one just for good old times. So because, like I said, that's been the test for the last 2 filaments that we got from the company that I've been working with, which one person at least knows the company I've been working with. All right. So that's probably the fastest I have ever seen a BL Touch level in my entire life. I didn't think a BL Touch can do leveling that fast, ever. That was one of my biggest things that I hated about the BL Touch, was that it couldn't level as fast as my capacitive touch sensors. But that was fast. All right, now it's 15% off. Now discount code automatically applied. Awesome. So yes, if you guys are interested in it, go ahead and check out the link here. So, and like I said, there is an affiliate link attached here as well if you guys want to use that instead. Either one, it doesn't really matter to me. So, oh boy, here's some more people contacting me. All right, so right now we're heating up the nozzle. Probably should have preheated the bed. So for you guys that do or do not know about auto bed leveling system, it's best to preheat then auto level. And that's because if you guys know anything about, I mean, basic science, even saying that basic science, I mean, a lot of people don't know that, but you might have been taught in school that metal expands and contracts when it's heated and cooled. That's essentially the same thing with the printer bed. So you will get different variations of leveling when you do leveling on a cold bed than you will a hot bed. Now, obviously, you are printing with a hot bed pretty much the entire time. And it's not necessarily needed for PLA. You can print on a cold bed. I don't really suggest it. It makes it a little bit easier to print on a heated bed, but you can get away without heating the bed. I've done it several times. It's been a while since I've tried it, but yes, you can do it, at least with PLA. PETG and TPU even you can get away with it. It's hard to do, but I've seen my buddy Tim from TH3D Studio do that on a Wanhao D3 mini, or an i3 mini, not a D3. And that printer has no heated bed at all. So, all right, so we're pretty much almost up to temperature here. We're about 5 degrees away from the bed being heated, and we will get print going. So hopefully, I'm hoping that this filament is what I am expecting it to be, because so far nobody that I have talked to has perfected this filament combination. So we shall see. Okay, so we got our wipe. That's flying. That's fast. Whoa. Teddy, what is this sliced at? That's pretty quick. I'd say that's probably like 100, 150 maybe. That's pretty comparable to what my FL Sun Super Racer was flying at. Okay, what type of hot end is it using? So it looks like it's the Creality style. I want to say it's an MK8 hot end. So your typical hot end. So totally stock slicer by Sunlu. So all right. No, it is not a knockoff E3D or anything like that. Personally, I think it would probably be a little bit better to have that type of hot end, especially when you're boasting speeds of this caliber. But hey, that just might be me. But either way, the hot end I think will be okay. So I will say that there's quite major vibrations going on here printing this. So let me see if I can bring this camera down a little bit closer. I have to adjust our line here. Hopefully we don't disconnect. There we go. I have a feeling this is going to get like knocked off. Go out of here. Sorry. Put this up. Okay. I'm sorry it's not the greatest of angles for it, but hey, it works. So what you're saying is add a foam pad to print on. Absolutely. So I'm printing on the box, and I don't know if you guys can hear that, but that's the sound of like the bed. So it's pretty violent when it's at this speed. Again, I want to say that this is like 100 millimeters a second. That's what it seems to be. So, you know, I didn't even realize we didn't plug. I'm sorry, we plugged one piece of electronic in. That is a first for any FDM printer I've done so far. Usually it requires plugging in some sort of an extruder cable, some sort of a hot end cable, something. Hasn't really been a power supply cable though lately. It's been everything else. This one is just a power supply. That's it. We just plugged the XT60 connector in. That's it. That's all we plugged in. Everything else is plugged in. So this is like super, super friendly to put this together. Okay, that's awesome. As long as it is in its own brand, allows for more upgradability. Yeah, so I'm not 100% sure on that, but just from looking at it, it is a red-coated type of hot end, and it looked like the Creality style extruder, at least the older one, not the new proprietary Creality style. So I want to say those are MK8 hot ends. If I'm wrong, then it's an MK10 hot end, but I'm pretty sure it's an MK8. Yes, I agree. That's something that I had on my Viper, and I absolutely loved. And I didn't think I was going to be like that about it, but the light really does make a major difference when you're printing. So, you know, it's a small thing that goes very far. So I'm very, very glad. So, Jeebus, we're 10 minutes into this, and we're probably 30% in. Right? Is that right? Jesus. This is insane. This might become my new best friend. Be interesting to add one of those hot end cameras to it with that light. So I actually used to have one of those, and essentially all it is a boroscope style camera. You can buy them online for like 20 bucks, but it's just a flex camera. That's all it is. It's not super high quality. It's really, you'll be lucky to shoot at like 420 at it, but it's a really cool camera for stuff like that. And I've been actually thinking about buying one of those and putting them on my resin printer as well, just to see how it would do. But I'm trying, like my thing that I've been struggling with is like the whole logistics of how it would work. So, but I think we're basically gonna let this print, and once it's done, we're gonna end the live stream because I haven't eaten anything yet, and I'm kind of starting to get a little hungry. And I'm hoping, looking at my invisible watch here, I'm hoping that one of my food places is open, so you can see. Sorry, I've been neglecting TikTok here. Yeah, so there's not really much people on here anyway. So, either way, It's half past the Fresnel o'clock. That's good. I've not heard that. So I'm trying to see if I can see the color change on this. I can't. It's too. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to tell. This is very interesting now. So, all right, let's go back to some of the specs here and see what we can talk about here. So, obviously, it's got that flexible magnetic plate. I really wish that it had a like a textured PEI sheet. So we might do an upgrade to that. I might just stop by my buddies and upgrade that and the Sunlu S9 and just get a magnetic flex plate for both of those because I prefer the flex PEI sheets. But either way, this magnetic one will, the flappy magnetic will work just fine. So yeah, boasting about 250 millimeters a second and high-speed printing. Again, I'm sure the quality will decrease as the speed increases. That's normal thought process. So, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we can't tweak some settings to get it going. So, if that is the case, I will look into that and see if there's some things I can tweak and essentially make a profile for this printer that is going to be good and fast at the same time. But right now, at the speed that it's running, that's pretty fast. And I'm pretty sure that's about half of what it can do. So yeah, clog detection, resume printing after a clog. I don't really want to try that, but I'm sure we'll come across that at some point in time. So we'll just have to take it at face value right now because it's not something I ever want to try and promote, just in case something does go wrong or it goes beyond what the clog detection can possibly do. So with our review, that might not be a topic that ever comes up. I'm just letting you guys know that right now. Silent board, yes, it is a little silent. However, when you have it in speed mode, more or less you're just hearing the rollers going back and forth and going right. That's more or less what you're hearing. So the machine itself, the drivers are silent. The machine itself is not so much, depending on how fast you're willing to go. Auto leveling, yes, and probably the fastest auto leveling for a BL touch, 3D touch, whatever you want to call it, style system. Like, I've never seen anything remotely close for BL touch style that has been that fast. Like, not even half that speed at the fastest. So that's amazing that they are able to get the readings that they need to off of that probe. Filament break detection, yes, that should have it. That's got a filament runout sensor. Again, that's something we can easily test. It's not something I really want to, but that one's a little bit more of a less disastrous thing that can happen. So that we can definitely check out. Power resume failure, that's usually a gimmick. Again, we can go ahead and test that out and see how it is. But in my experience, it's usually resulted in failed prints. So, we'll test it out. All metal double gear extruder, dual gear extruder. Yes, it definitely has that. So it's not one of the fancier ones. It's just an open-ended one, but it should feed stuff pretty well. Should you use TPU on this system? Probably not. You want more of an enclosed extruder system if you're going to utilize that. So if you are looking to print TPU, I do some testing with it, but it really is going to depend on the type of TPU that you're going to utilize on the system to be okay. But normally you want an enclosed dual geared system. That's really what's going to make it better for that. So there's no way for that TPU to basically bend out of the dual geared extruder. So just keep that in mind. Belt adjusters, yes, we already talked about that. The magnetic platform, easy assembly, easier than I even thought. thought it was. Very, very nice. All metal stable body, absolutely is. And that's pretty much it. I mean, everything's pretty self-explanatory. It's a very, very nice, easy system to use. Super easy to set up. Like, even if you don't know what you're doing, this is a great printer for people who are just getting into that type of stuff, 3D printing, and they want an easy to set up printer. Again, we'll have to put it through its paces and just be for sure like this is a good printer. But so far, I'm kind of impressed with it. It's insanely fast, super easy to set up, and I mean, what we've been live for an hour and 20 minutes, and we're already about 60% done with our first print. There's only been one other printer that has finished a print while we were doing a live stream unboxing, and that was the FL Sun Super Razor. And that's because it was flying at 160 millimeters a second. And that was a small print it was printing, not something like this. So this is pretty good. So mic quality is lower, yeah. So the issue is my mic is actually on the camera that you guys are watching. I use the Logitech C920, so when I face this way, I'm actually facing away from it. So my apologies. So mic is too close to the printer, still understandable considering the printer noise. Yeah, not sure what happened. What's up, Jerry? How's it going, man? So let's get this all set up. So far, initial impressions of this printer, as you guys normally would ask. It's pretty good. For the price, $279. This is a pretty hard machine to beat for what it comes with. You know, there are a couple printers in a similar price range, but if this can actually pull off the speeds that it says that it can, and we can get a quality print out of it, this is going to be a really, really like good bang for your buck if it actually can produce what it says it can. So at this rate, you might make it for Triple Taco Thursday. Hey, there's always a taco place if all else fails. They're open till 1 o'clock, so it's only 10 o'clock here. So if all else fails, we're good. And if I wanted to go in the city, there's quite a few 24-hour places. So I might have to buy one just to torture test it. Absolutely. Looking forward to this coming on Sunday. I designed a miniature paint set holder that to print out. See, that's perfect. Perfect print to check out. See how it prints. So the other thing that you also have to take into consideration with speed is the dimensional accuracy of the print itself. So that's one of the things that I know some people have issues with higher speed settings. Like, yes, the print looks great, the quality is fantastic, but if I printed something that's supposed to fit inside of another print and you printed both of those, are they going to actually fit together? Like that's some things. But again, you got to understand we're working with a budget printer here. So yes, even though it is $280, that is still, in my eyes, a budget style printer. Basically, anything that is sub $300 that is this size machine is usually a budget printer, at least in my eyes. I know some people aren't usually, thinking of that in that term, but you know. Oh, okay. So this is a miniature one. All right. Now it's 15% off discount. So for some reason, Farah, your link is not showing up on the stream. I think it's being automatically blocked on Facebook, and that's unfortunate. But essentially, here I can link this right here. So here's a link to purchase it if you guys want to. And there is a discount code that is automatically applied on that for 15% off if anybody is interested in getting this printer. So I will tell you that this print does not look as good as I thought it would be. But there's two factors here. First off, we're testing out some prototype filament, so that could be one factor. And second factor is that you know, we're printing at some insane speeds here, so that could also be a factor. All right, whew, that's a little toasty. We'll let that slow down, slowly roll. But yeah, I think I'll slice this bearded skull print up here and get it all set up. So let's go ahead and get our setup here. Let's bring this down. Let's put our cameras here. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to install the Cura slicer that they sent us. And we're going to set another print right now. We're basically, you guys are going to watch me install this and set it all up, and we're going to call it a night. We're going to try and let that print bed cool down for a little bit, and then we'll pop that print off and see how it is. So, my wife would kill me if I bought another printer. Yeah, my wife is pretty much the same here, so I have a lot of printers, as you may or may not have seen. It's Boy in Space. What's up, buddy? So right now we're just we're printing the Cali Dragon. Well, we printed the Cali Dragon with the new Akuma Mods filament. So and that was at some pretty insane speeds, I would say. At least 120 millimeters this time. Some music here. Okay, so yes. I mean, I guess that's fine. We kind of upgraded. We have Cura 4.114. So that's perfectly fine. All right, so we have the Viper here, and I'm pretty sure we'll have to import some profiles. Let's go to our printer setup here. Yeah, don't yell at me. My folders are still in disaster. Okay, so is there interface slicer? Gee, I haven't seen that in a while. So let's see if we can didn't have the S9. That's awesome. Okay. So we have the T3 here. Fancy little cylinder. Hello, Cindy. How are you? All right. So let's go ahead and load up our new install. There we go. And we will see how this goes. Hey, look, it's me. But it's not me. It's a skull. I didn't give it to yourself for Christmas from Santa. That you can't. That's good. Yeah, that's good. So yeah, last time, technically I don't really need to do anything with this. Let's see what we're set at for speed. So it says printer speed is at 60 millimeters per second. So I think that's pretty generous. Pretty slow speeds. What is our time stamp? Yeah, it's been so long. Rarely use this. I usually use Simplified 3D, so my apologies. Kind of blah blah. Yeah, so they're blocking. So like I can see the links for like links on Facebook, but I guess they block them now. Facebook Live. So now you can't send links. I'm gonna have to take a look at that and see if we can allow that. All right, where am I going? I need to find the temperature setting for this material. All right, so printing temperature is at 200. Build plate is at 60. That's good. Okay, so everything's looking good so far. 20% infill, that's good enough. Supports are off. All right, good to go. I think we'll be good. You can buy it for a gift and use it for yourself. That'd be good. Is it not set? Fine. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Like me, sir. Somewhere else I'm missing. This is a problem because I do not use Kira. I do not know. What is going on here? That's a nice girlfriend. I have the M3 Max. It's okay for her. Gotta be very gentle with it because you could easily crack the screen. Easily. Let's see. Let's see what we can do. Normal. This be normal. This might be normal. I do not want to be changed. There we go. I got it. I got it. I literally got it just as you messaged me. Not compatible with the current extruder. Oh, did not set. Well, that would explain why. It's not set through. As I literally just told somebody on TikTok, hey, this is where you need to go to do this. And he was like, no, I don't have that. Yeah, it's okay. I'm special, Teddy. It's getting too late. All right, so let's go back to materials and make sure that everything's good now. All right, now we're all good. Cool. Can I delete this? Not either. Let's see, it's done. All right. So should we do fine or should we do normal? Let's do normal. We'll be normal. Normies. What am I saving this to? SD card there. I do recommend an extension for this. Yeah, we got it. Thank you. Thank you, Sunlu. We got it. Me and Teddy got it. It is changed. All right. Yeah, it's all good. All good. You got it. It's a removable disc. All right. Right, that's the luckiest person on it. Pico, what's up? How's it going? All right, so now it is saved. Let's go through eject. And then we're going to go ahead and remove this print from the printer. May have to get I got him dropping down. I think our first layer was a little close on that side, eh? All right. Not terrible, but the color is what I needed. So let's hope this secondary print comes out the way that it's intended to. All right, so we're going to do preheats. I'm going to go to temperature. Is there not a preheat? jams? What is jams? We jam out? All right, so we got to set the bed and the nozzle separately. So I'm going to go ahead and preheat this. For some reason I jumped back into the bed. I thought I was on the nozzle. Oh, that's because I was at the nozzle first. It's not really going to help when I print that at 60 degrees. Hey. Okay, so we're going to let that sit for a quick second, let it warm up, and we're going to set that print off and pretty much say goodnight. So I think we'll be done here at 10:30. That gives us pretty much 2-hour live stream. That's normally what we do for our live streams, so that's pretty good. Again, the only other printer that has matched this so far in terms of builds and getting it printing is the FL Sun Super Racer, which that's pretty impressive because that is a far superior machine. It's also, you know, about $200 more. Well, it was at least. So, but anyway. Okay. I will say this is the fastest BL Touch I've ever seen, or 3D Touch, whatever they use. Insane. Even though it is a single touch, it's not a double tap. That's still pretty quick. How many watts is the heater cartridge? Does it say anywhere? No, probably the standard. Oh god, I killed you guys. Probably standard wattage. Because it's not like it's any special type of hot end or anything. It's not meant for high temps. So it's meant to just be budget and fast. That's essentially what it is. Why did it throw that filament all the way out? Did I do that? Did I do that? Hold on. We mess it up. Stop the print. Stop the press. I mess it up. Somehow I mess it up. That first layer is insane now. Sorry, guys. There we go. Okay, let's try this again. If you guys see my face. I don't know why I retracted it, but whatever. 40 watt at 24 volts. All right, cool. Yeah, so standard. The poor man's camera is taking a beating. Hey, that's actually a pretty nice camera. It's a Logitech C290, so it's actually a really nice camera. It's funny when I tell people, because everybody asks me, they're like, what do you use for your audio? I'm like, the Logitech C920. Like, I have a boom mic. I have a nice mic on my main camera here, yeah, essentially. There we go. All right. Surprise. All right. It does heat up pretty quickly though. Like we're at 100 degrees right now. Our target is 200. We're at 140 now. 150. 160. 170. 180. 190. And 200. Boom. So it does overshoot by 3 degrees. So let's see here. I was just curious if it did the 70 watt to maintain the temperature to print at that speed. Oh, that's a good thought. I didn't think about that, but no, it's basically just a cheaper style hot end setup. So my T3 currently prints. Only issue I had was the micro SD card that came with it. If yours stops during the print, use another SD card. Yeah, so that's common with pretty much all FDM printers. Even resin printers have that issue. I usually end up replacing them regardless of what it comes with. Like this one actually came with a quality SD card, but still, either way. So our purge line's looking pretty good. That's at 60 millimeters? That can't be right. That's way too fast for that. They have to have something else jacked up in their slicer. There's no way that's 60 millimeters. There's no way. My Viper does 80, and it doesn't look anything like that. I have fast mode on? Really? I didn't know there was such a thing. Oh, there's the preheat PLA. I was looking for that. It's kind of more hidden. Woo! Wow, those settings are jacked up. Whoa! Whoa! English. That's why. Fast print. Okay, I see it. Ah, screw it. We'll let it go. We'll let it roll. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, I see it. It's the last point as I find it, and then I see your comment. Great. What's up, Dan? How's it going, man? Dan the man. Multiplies the G code. All right, cool. Well, we'll see how it prints. I'm interested to see. but that's pretty good. I kind of dig it. I think it's a little violent, in my opinion, at that speed, but hey, you know, can't really complain. I'm really curious to see what speed it actually prints at when it's in fast mode. So if it multiplies it, so then that would be right. So if it multiplies it, that G code is at 60 millimeters. So if it multiplies it by 2, then that would mean it's 120 millimeters a second, which that's essentially what I said earlier. Is I think it's around 100 millimeter to 120 millimeter a second. That's what it looked like. So I was right if that's the case. So good, sir. You pretty good. For tool quality prints, this looks like the best I've seen so far. For printer settings, override slicer settings. There are some printers that do that. It's a way that it overrides it. It's the same thing like Clipper overrides any setting from a printer. Like I have something here that is new on the market. I guess I can talk about it, but it's Creality's newest product, and essentially it turns any printer into Clipper. So yeah, I think it's multiple from the slicer. Right. So like I said, I think I was right then, if that's the case. So. Oh, that sounds awesome. I haven't used Super Slicer, but I hear amazing things about it. I'm kind of so-so with Prusa Slicer. I'm more of a simplified 3D guy. But if I could get some settings going on the simplified 3D, I'll probably tune this thing to an insane point. I guess it is. So you guys may have seen some videos about it, but yeah. So this is the new bad boy. I don't really know much about it, but we'll see. So you got on the list for that? Yeah, it looks really nice, but hey, we'll see how it goes. But oh man, I need that. So unfortunately, I can't give that up right now because there's some other things in the pipeline that are going to be with that. So I can't. I'd love to give it to you, but I can't right now. You got to wait. So at that point, it might be out, but at some point, if you want it, you'd be the first person to know. Time for me to leave, you guys. Have a great day. All right, Teddy, thanks for stopping in. Yeah, I think we're basically gonna pop off here. We're gonna give it 5 more minutes. We're gonna let this print, and we're basically going to end the stream there. So, what is the Creality Sonic Pad? Your guess is as good as mine. They sent that to me to test and review and kind of blind react on it. So that's essentially what I'm going to do. But as far as from what I have heard rumored, essentially it is a Clipper setup. Again, I don't know if that's true or not. We'll see. So 250 millimeters a second can be done at 0.16. That's perfectly fine. And it's a straight long line without overlays. Okay. See, and that's what I was wondering because my buddy had bought 2 of these and he has not had very good results, at least with the speed settings on it. He showed me his first set of prints on it. It was just like super fast was way too much. Then he tuned it down a little bit at about half the speed, and it was a little bit better. And then he tuned it down to like normal speed, and it was much better. But again, I don't think he really knows what he's doing in terms of slicing programs and stuff. So He was just more or less switching settings without tuning it, essentially. So, um, how's it going, good sir? It's going very, very well so far. How are you, Daniel? Let's see here. Looks like I might have a road trip in my future. Need to visit and not see what you have coming up. Yeah, I got a bunch of stuff. So, how's it going, good sir? It only works with 4.27 or better ports. Oh, I got you. Okay. Screen is a clipper box. Just need to install clipper on the machine and go. Cool. What's the default tip size? So pretty much the same as any printer out of the box. It is 0.4. So a machine like this would probably, if you are going to do faster speeds, it would probably be beneficial to upgrade to a 0.6, because not only do you have the speed to adjust that at, you also have the flow to compensate with that speed. So I think that would be a great upgrade if this can actually manage that 250, like I said. So I believe it is an MK8. Yes, this looks to be the same hot end setup as the Creality, like Ender 3, Ender 5 model, CR10, what have you. I would do a little research. Don't take my word for it. That's just me, sight unseen type thing. I did not do any research on this, so that's me just spitting words out there. So do not take them for 100% until I do the review, and that's when I'll have all my true information on this. But yeah, so far so good. I mean, it's not terrible. So, all right, we're basically hitting our 2-hour mark here, so we're gonna pretty much get going here. It is 10:30 my time, so I think that's pretty much it. Yeah. So again, initial impressions, super easy to set up. Like I said, I didn't even realize that. I literally plugged in one piece of electronic. That's it, and that was the power supply. The I want to say JST connectors all the time, but it's the XT60 connector. That is the only piece of electronic that you plug in. And then basically, what, 6 screws it was, right? It's 2, 4, 6, yeah. So 6 screws. No, I'm sorry. It was 9 screws. So my apologies. So it's 9 screws, one piece of electronic that you got to plug in, and that's it. Everything else is good to go. So far, I'm kind of liking it. Like I said, I think it's a little violent to have it on the speed settings here, but that's not something that we can't dial in and get a little bit smoother actions going. But yeah, I mean, so pretty good. Dual gear extruder, fantastic to have. Filament runout sensor, absolutely. I suggest this. This should be a definite addition to every single printer out there. There should be no printer anymore that comes out of factory without a filament runout sensor. There's absolutely no need not to have it. It is probably the best investment you will ever have. It saved my butt several times in the past. I will never print without one. I do wish it had a little bit better of a hot end, but that doesn't mean that, you know, there is upgrade possibilities, and we can make this machine even beyond our wildest dreams, print, you know, even better and faster than what's possible. But really, really cool. Kind of funny to see a fan on the extruder motor, but absolutely know exactly why it's there. Just it's weird to see it. Again, I know a lot of people are going to hate on the LCD screen. That's a personal preference, in my opinion. I know tons of people love the touch screens nowadays, but so far, if it works, it works. That's my type of opinion. So, I mean, I think it works for what it needs. So it doesn't need to be anything spectacular. It's not here to wow you in any way, shape, or form. It does its job, and that's it. That's all it needs to do, in my opinion. Case in point with the resin printers. Yes, they're touchscreen, but they're very basic in what they do. You touch it one or two times, and then it's done. That's it. You don't have to go and mess with stuff. So, but yeah, other than that, pretty good printer. Again, we'll have to put it through some tests, see if maybe we can develop a speed profile and actually get this thing printing at the speeds that it says that it can, without sacrificing quality. And we'll basically tune it from there. So that's pretty much it, guys. Stay tuned for the review. It'll probably be in a week or two, most likely 2 weeks. And yeah, we'll try and get it out there as soon as we possibly can. Thank you all for stopping in and chit-chatting and hanging out on the stream. If you guys like what you see and you aren't subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, do whatever you can, and that would be fantastic. So with Clipper, screen is optional. Maybe I can come visit and we can Clipperize. Give you one of your FDM printers. Absolutely, I'm down for that. We have plenty of extra pies here. But yeah, so until next time, guys, happy printing, and I thank you for sticking around.